Mr. Chairman, the House has discovered two things tonight. Firstly, it's discovered that there has been a budget blowout from $76 million to $89 million. That's a 17% increase. I'd like the Minister to tell the House whether he thinks that's the end of the cost increase. Is he prepared to guarantee to the House that this budget won't keep blowing out? A 17% increase, Minister. When did you find out about that increase? And why has it only been tonight that we've been able to extract that information from you? I was at the Select Committee. There was no talk there about an increase in the budget. There was no talk there about any problems. There was no talk there that the process had been delayed, you said a moment ago, by a further 2 months. Why did it require us to extract this information now from you, when that is, in anybody's terms, a 17% blowout in the budget is significant? It's not minor. I want to pick up another point that the Minister made. He said there were two significant changes in requirements that led to this. Now, actually, I have a little bit of institutional memory, Minister. I remember exactly those words being used in regard to incest. Why did incest cost go up and balloon and blow out and then fail? Because the government kept requiring of the system new things that they added on to the original requirements. And now you've come into the House and said to us, as I understand it, but correct me if I'm wrong, that the government has made two new significant requirements of the computer system that they did not require in the first instance. That is the path to IT failure. That is the path to a ballooning out in the costs of any project. That is exactly how incest began, and you're telling us that that's happening now. Now, I do want to take exception to your comments about sneaky. You know, it's not sneaky for people to be upfront and honest and tell us that there's a problem with the system. People in industry or people in customs. I'll tell you what's sneaky. Sneaky is a government that does not be upfront and honest and transparent about the fact they've got a major problem. And you've got to extract the truth out as you're pulling teeth one at a time in a very painful process. And we still haven't got the truth, Mr. Chairman. I want to know what those two significant changes in requirements were. Was that as a result of a failure of the government to anticipate what was needed, or was that a result of the failure of IBM to deliver what it promised? We're told that they have to meet their contractual obligations, the terms the Minister used. Using those terms immediately implies that IBM is failing to meet its contractual obligations. I think you have an obligation, Minister, to tell us why IBM is failing to meet its obligation. Well, look, the Hansard will show it. I took a note of the words the Minister used, and it was, if they don't meet their contractual obligations, then they will be able to be held to account. Paraphrasing perhaps, but that's the message that the Minister gave. So I want to know, where do the problems originate? Do they originate with the inability of the government or the incompetence of the government to get it right? Or is it the failure of the IBM company to deliver what they promised to deliver? Now, that's a fair enough question. It's pretty fundamental, pretty basic, and that's one that the Minister should be able to give an answer to in the House tonight. I want to know what elements of the system aren't working. The Minister has talked about defects. That was his word, defects in the system. What are those defects? What impact are they having on the ability of the system to deliver? Is it correct that Cosmod was due to be retired by now, but is still being kept going because the new IT system won't work on its own and can't be relied on? That's another straightforward question, Minister, and it's one that the House deserves an answer to tonight. What are the defects? How much longer will we keep Cosmod going? What is the final cost of the budget blowout going to be? Is the $89 million the full and final cost of this venture, or will it go up each time we ask questions about it? Will there be ongoing problems, Mr Chairman? Mr Chairman?
No, the members had 4 calls. I'm going to call Paul Goldsmith.
I move that the question be now put.
I'm going to call Dr David Clark.
Chairman, I feel that the questions that Phil Goff has raised must